Hi everyone. Well, it's been raining for 2 days straight, and I wanted to do a real quick video. I wanted to talk to you about a magazine that I received in the mail the other day. I ordered it off of Amazon, and I received it a couple days ago. I finally ordered a Men's Adventure Quarterly magazine. This is my first one, and the reason I ordered this one, you can see right there, it's a Private Eyes issue. So I absolutely had to have it. Now, as I said, I've never gotten one of these before, and I'm really happy that I picked it up. There's the back cover. This is just an incredible magazine, and the reason I wanted to talk to you about it today is because Nick at the Book Graveyard will be interviewing two of the gentlemen that are responsible for this magazine coming up this Sunday on a live stream. I think it'll be live, maybe it'll be taped, I'm not too sure, but anyway, it'll be this Sunday. And I just wanted to show you this incredible magazine. I mean, I picked this up, I didn't really know what to expect, but you know, right out of the gate, you've got some incredible artwork right on the inside cover. And Men's Adventure Quarterly, issue number 12, with different names they have for private investigators: Private Eye, Investigator Gumshoe, Sleuth, Shamus, Skip Tracer, Sherlock. Like, what an incredible piece of artwork. But just thumbing through this, I mean, it's just amazing. I had no idea what to expect. And basically what it does is it reprints stories from the Men's Adventure magazines from back in the 50s and the 60s. But before you get into the stories, they have little features like this one, for instance. This is the first one. It's called The Case of the Murdering Detective by Alan Hind from Cavalier magazine, September 1956. So what they do is they reprint the story in here from this magazine. That's Cavalier from 1956. That's the cover. But before they reprint the story, there's a little article before the story that talks about the writer and the art and gets to know a little bit of the history of the story and maybe of the magazine itself, you know, and any movie or TV adaptations there might have been of the story. And in this case, there was a couple of movie adaptations that featured this detective from this story. And then, you know, once it gets that out of the way, then it reprints the actual story from Cavalier magazine, The Case of the Murdering Detective, and it reprints all the artwork, just as it was back in the magazine back in the day. So yeah, and you know, 3 columns, so you can fit a lot in there, a lot of story, and let's see, and they even have cartoons. Private Eye cartoons, and here's another one. This one's a Johnny Liddell story by Frank Kane called Party Girl that appeared in a magazine called Ken for Men in 1957, with illustrations by Rudy Nappy using Avallone as the model for the girl that's in the story. But there's the cover that the story appeared in, and there's here's the information talking about, you know, some of the magazines that the Johnny Liddell stories appeared in, like Mike Shane magazine, Mystery Magazine, Manhunt, Pursuit, and there's a cover of Manhunt right there, and there's the cover model that they used for, like, she was used for a lot of artwork back in the day. A lot of artists used her as a model for these magazine covers, and there she is. They've actually have a book of her called Ava Men's Adventure Supermodel, and that's her now. And yeah, look at this. This is the here you go. That's where the story starts. Look at this. Look at that layout. That's Party Girl. That's the artwork. Just incredible, man. That's just so amazing, so well done. That artwork's by Rudy Nappy, and that's the Avallone model right there. Wow, just incredible. What an incredible job they did on this magazine. I wish I'd been picking these up all along. You know, I've heard Criminality talk about these, and Nick has talked about them, and I think a few other booktubers that I follow. And I always kind of wanted one, but I never really got around to it. But of course, I had to have this issue. And here's even ads from back in the day, you know, from the magazine. And here's another one. This is an Adam Baxter Private Eye story called Sing a Song of Sex Mail is the name of the story. And this appeared in Private Eye magazine, volume 1, number 1. And that's the cover. Private Eye magazine, and again, you know, it introduces a story, talks a little bit about the story, and it mentions Saul Brodsky here from, I didn't actually read this article yet, so it talks about Saul Brodsky, who worked for Marvel Comics, and I wonder if they're saying that he was the author, or maybe he was the editor of it, but yeah. There's a little bit of info, comic strip. Sorry, I should have went into it a little bit more informed, but I was excited to kind of show you guys this, and I wanted to get this done before Sunday. Now, here's the beginning of the story, the Adam Baxter story. Yeah, with the artwork. And there's some interior illustrations. Now, I thought this artist was John Severin because it kind of looks like his style, but apparently the artist who did the interior artwork was Paul Reinman. Maybe it was a pseudonym for John Severin, I don't know, but that looks an awful lot like John Severin to me. So yeah, that's a complete story. And then back in the Private Eye magazine, they had kind of a comic strip where there was a mystery you had to solve in a kind of a comic strip format. And again, there's the ads that appeared in the magazine back in the day. Very cool. This next one is a story called Make Out Mob Girl by Michael Avallone. And we all know who Michael Avallone was. And this is from Man's World magazine. There's the cover that the story appeared in. And there's, of course, the introduction and talking a little bit about Michael Avallone and some of the books that he wrote. Man from U.N.C.L.E., for instance. I have that book on my shelf. He did some Nick Carter stories, Beneath the Planet of the Apes. I mean, Michael Avallone did all kinds of stuff. He was just amazing. And here is the first, here's a double-page spread beginning the story. Make Out Mob Girl. Look at that. Isn't that something? You know, and then little interior illustrations throughout. Just very cool. What an incredible magazine. And this didn't cost me much. I forget what it cost me, but I mean, it's a very thick book. There's a lot in here, you know, artwork-wise, story-wise, article-wise. Well worth the money. And then you've got an article, David Avallone, talking about his father, called A Little Something About My Father, when he talks about him. And of course, Michael Avallone did the Ed Noon Private Eye Mysteries, which I'd like to get more of. And here's an ad for The Art of Ron Lesser. 2 books, looks like, an incredible artist. And this, quite a few pages talking about Honey West, the female private eye from the 60s. And you might remember the TV show starring Anne Francis, where she played Honey West. But she started out as in the paperbacks, in the original paperbacks, written by Gloria Fickling, G.G. Fickling. So yeah, and there's some of the book covers. There's a list of the novels. TV guide cover, episode guide. I mean, man, they just put so much work into this. It's just, what an incredible magazine. Look at this. And Yeah, here's some merchandise, Honey West merchandise, comic book, Honey West board game, a Honey West action figure, and there she is, Anne Francis, autographed picture of Anne Francis as Honey West. And then, yeah, Mike Shane magazine. That's the cover, the short story that's in here, the Honey West story. That's the magazine that appeared in, was Mike Shane. So, and then there's more of the covers. And I think now we get into, there's a short story there that appeared in Mike Shane magazine called The Red Herring by G.G. Fickling. And it's very short, but that's a complete story. And then it gets into articles, the top 10 Western detectives, which is very cool. Talks about, the pulp detectives. There's Walt Longmire, The Cold Dish. There's the Tony Hillerman, Joe Leaphorn Mysteries, Lauren D. Estelman. There's a Private Eye cover. And TV's Private Eyes. Talks about them. And it's got Sherlock Holmes. It's got a Sherlock Holmes article in here. There you go. I mean, this magazine is perfect for me. They did such an incredible job on here. Now, this next one, I can't show you the cover, but here's another story called I Had to Amputate My Leg to Save My Life by Walter Kalin, writing as Roland Empey. And it's a PI story that appeared in For Men Only magazine, 1977. And even that artwork's a little gory. I can't show you that, but that's the whole story right there. That's I can't wait to read that, just to see what that's all about. You know what? Just great magazine. Sci-Fi Private Eyes talks about them. Article by John Harrison. And so the next one that comes out, they've advertised that'll be coming out, Deadly, Dangerous, Delicious, Fatal Femmes, and that's the next issue that comes out. So I'm going to make sure that I pick that one up, get my hands on that, and I'm going to try to pick up as many back issues as I can as time goes by. But yeah, there it is, Men's Adventure Quarterly number 12. Incredible book, magazine, and kudos to them for doing such a great job. What a just great package that is. So yeah, and the reason I wanted to talk to you about that was because of Nick interviewing. So he'll be interviewing Bob Deis and Wyatt Doyle on his channel on Sunday. So make sure you tune in for that. And, you can ask them any questions about the magazine and about all kinds of stuff. I'm sure they're very knowledgeable, and it should be a lot of fun. I'm going to try my best to tune in. So I wanted to share that with you real quick. Until next time, take care and keep reading.